So Joe Biden did an event yesterday, and man, he is gone. He is no longer with us. That means it's time for an episode of a new ongoing series we will call Joe Biden versus the teleprompter.
Fight! True international effort to pressure. How can that be, Joe? Well, right now, the government, our tax dollars, pay out through Medicare the help for the prescription drugs. If they have to pay out $159 billion less.
He's angry at the teleprompter. He's angry at the teleprompter. 159 billion, million, bajillion, exquillion dollars. I'm sorry that the brain doesn't, but that was not his only battle with the teleprompter. The teleprompter wins that one, but Joe was back at it. He was back at it, and here is Redux, Rumble in the Jungle, Joe Biden versus the teleprompter, part 2.
By the way, you docs are good. If there's any angels in heaven, they're all nurses, male and female. You know why?
What?
You guys make us, allow us to live. Nurses make you want to live.
What just happened? You know, you got the doctors and the nurse engine. Yeah, you doctors. Well spoken, sir. Well spoken. They took that one on the chin, but that's not the teleprompter's fault. He's not reading from a teleprompter. He's reading from the ghosts who are all around him, ever present, waiting for him. Well, Joe Biden also told a weird story yesterday. Again, this is their leader. This is the man who is going to lead them to the promised land. Joe Biden had a story. He had a story about a nurse. Apparently, this is the second time he has told this particular story. It's not quite on corn pop level, but I'm always up for a good Joe Biden story. I like Joe Biden stories. I think they're funny. Whether it is the story about his father, my personal favorite, the best Joe Biden story ever is, of course, the one about his father telling him that two gay men going at it on a street corner in Scranton, Pennsylvania in 1952, that those guys meant love, Joey. That's the best story. But this one is pretty good. This is the one where apparently he had a pornographic dream about a nurse or something.
I had a nurse named Pearl Nelson, military. She'd come in and do things that I don't think you learn in medical school, nursing school. She'd whisper in my ear. I couldn't understand her. She'd whisper, she'd lean down. She'd actually breathe on me to make sure that there was a connection, a human connection.
Ooh, he's gone, folks. It's sad. It's sad. The president is gone. And that's sad. So somebody needs to reach out to Pearl Nelson and be like, so what did you teach Joe Biden that you didn't learn in nursing school? By the way, is that a tactic that nurses frequently use? They go and blow in people's ears? Is that a thing? I feel like that's not a thing. Like maybe they don't learn that in nursing school because that's crazy. I've never. She would make a human connection by blowing in my wang chicka bang. Solid stuff there from the president of the United States. Just wow, he's good at this. Well, Joe Biden looks like he wants to go to sleep. Well, I also want to go to sleep. But the thing is, I need a great mattress in order to go to sleep. And so do you. You need a mattress made just for you. And this is why I rely on my Helix sleep mattress. Helix is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. The Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses, including a collection of luxury models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, even a mattress made just for kids. I've had a Helix sleep mattress for years. My wife has too. We share a mattress, as it turns out. And Helix has made it perfect for both of us. Helix made it firm and breathable for me, which is exactly what I need, because otherwise I get the back pain and I tend to heat up at night. Well, right now, for a limited time, Helix is offering up to 20% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. It's their best offer yet. Hurry on over to helixsleep.com/Ben. With Helix, better sleep starts right now. Helix has a 10-year warranty. You can try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you will. Helix has over 12,000 5-star reviews. They also have financing options and flexible payment plans that make it super easy to get a great night's sleep. Head on over to helixsleep.com/Ben. That's helixsleep.com/Ben. And again, get 20% off all mattress orders plus 2 free pillows for our listeners. helixsleep.com/Ben. Well, Democrats are, of course, whining and screaming and mewling about the fact that the Supreme Court is very likely to strike down what is obviously an unconstitutional seizure of power by the executive branch to get rid of hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe trillions of dollars over the course of time in student loan debt. And Biden knew at the time he did this that this was not legal. He did it anyway. And again, the entire political, cynical game was, I'm going to do this thing that totally is going to get struck down, but I'm going to make that promise. And if I make that promise and then the promise gets struck down, I won't get blamed because, of course, I made the promise. And it shows people I was willing to do it. And what I need is more power. And if you gave me more power, I really would be able to. That's not how this is going to play out. You lied. You said that you could do a thing, and you lied. And the American people are going to hold you accountable for that lie. By the way, on principle, if you take out a loan, repay your loans. I don't know when it became okay in this country to believe that if you take out a loan, you shouldn't repay your loans. That it's everybody else's responsibility for your crap decisions. You made a bad decision to take out $150,000 in loans to go get that sociology degree from the local community college or the overpriced private college. Your problem, not mine, not anyone else's. You did it. That was stupid decision making. If it's going to be anybody else's problem, maybe it's the school. Maybe you should sue the school for false advertising, for fraud. Maybe the school made you promises that weren't fulfilled. All right, go sue the school. But why I should pay your student loan debt is beyond me. I'm not paying your credit card debt. I don't see why I should pay your student loan debt. Again, it's amazing. It's considered selfish for people to say, I don't wish to pay your debt. You should pay your own debts. It is not selfish, however, for you to incur a bunch of debts and then expect everyone else around you to pay them. It's an insane thing. But this is, again, part and parcel of I think, a broader democratic program at this point in American life, which is to make people lazy bums. I think that the goal of the Democratic Party at this point is to make your life worse so that you will blame the system and then you will give them power to change the system. I think that they're top-level members of the Democratic Party and the press who are perfectly happy with incentivizing bad and stupid behavior. Yeah, there shouldn't be any consequences for behavior. Get pregnant out of wedlock. Be overweight. Go incur debts that you can't pay. Drop out of school. Do all the dumb things. Because after all, the reason you're failing is not because of those individual decisions. It's because of the system. Now, first of all, that is a recipe for individual unhappiness. If you actually wish to be happy in a free country, make good decisions. Make decisions that make your life better. But it's not in the interest of a lot of politicians to actually incentivize you to make those good decisions. It's in their interest for you to fail, because then they can say that your failure is the responsibility of a system, and they need the power in order to change the system. And Bernie Sanders' entire shtick is exactly this. All failures are the system's failures. Now give me the power, and I will take that power, and I will use it on your behalf. I will restructure the entire... He's never produced a damn thing in his entire life. So we're now about to hear from a bunch of people who have never produced a thing in their entire life. Like never. Their entire career. They've not produced a job. They've not produced a business. They've not produced a product. They've not produced a service. And here they are explaining why you, a person who has produced all of those things, should pay the bill for somebody else who took out a bill to get their ed degree from the local community college. So first we begin with Miguel Cardona. Again, so many career useless people in government at this point. One of the striking facts about the Biden administration and the Democratic Party in general is how few of these people actually earned a living before they actually went into government. And Cardona was a principal, I guess. That's as much of a job as anybody in this administration has held, I suppose. But here's Cardona suggesting this is pandemic-related relief. This is not pandemic-related relief by any stretch of the imagination.
How do you make this fair, though? Because I believe the concern might be that there will be future legal challenges, and there are many things to consider when you forgive some loan debt, but not other loan debt. And then you have people who have paid off the debt.
We know that after national emergencies, when loan payments are paused, when it's time to restart the loans, there's up to 20 times the amount of defaults that you would normally have. We want to prevent this. This is why we proposed targeted debt relief of $10,000 or $20,000 if you're a Pell recipient, to help those folks get back on their feet. And as far as folks who
it is
say,
not pandemic-related relief.
My debt, well, that happened prior to the pandemic. This is pandemic-related relief that millions of Americans need.
We poured trillions of dollars into people's pockets to stay home for 2 years. And here he is saying that it's pandemic-related relief. By the way, the reality is, one of the claims they're making is that inflation it makes it harder for people because of the economic conditions to pay back their loans. Precisely the opposite. If your wages went up and your actual student loan debt is on a fixed rate from a fixed base, that means that your actual price to repay your loan went down. Okay, if your income went up and the debt is the same, then it costs you less money, relatively speaking, in order to pay off that debt. It makes no economic sense. But the real point here is a bunch of useless people suggesting that they get to steal your money and then use it for purposes of their own making and relieve other people of responsibility in the process because they want to incentivize stupid behavior. They want to. Here's Ilhan Omar, an anti-American useless person, talking about how we're not going to stop until everyone is freed from student loan debt.
Regardless of what happens today, We are not going to stop. We are not going to rest until every single person who has student debt is freed from that and is able to have opportunity in this country.
All these people, it's amazing. Cori Bush, the language here. Cori Bush, the mewling and the whining. The tears are sweet. I mean, it's filling up here because the Supreme Court's going to strike this thing down. And then all these people are just going to whine and cry, and they're going to cry and whine. Here is Cori Bush, again, another career useless person who has never produced a product, service, or business, talking about how everybody should be able to just not pay their debts, pretty much.
So let me ask you, and I need to hear your response. Are the profits of a student loan servicer more important than the people's lives?
More important than the people's lives.
Tax revenue, which is what they're claiming, is it more important than people staying housed and fed? Should a far-right Supreme Court stop over 40 million borrowers from receiving student debt relief?
I have a question. If she believes that profit is not more important than people, like it's all about people's lives versus profit. Oh, the profit mongers. I have a question. According to Fox News, Missouri Democratic Representative Cori Bush's campaign told out $60,000 in private security payments last year to Courtney Merritt, who she quietly married earlier this month. It seems like somebody is perfectly happy to, embezzle, is what that sounds like. Merritt pocketed the security payments despite not having a St. Louis private security license, which is needed to perform security functions in the area. Merritt also received the campaign cash as it simultaneously paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to a St. Louis security firm and another individual for personal protection. So, yeah, she's very much against profit unless her boyfriend, soon-to-be husband, is making it for being a security guard, even though he doesn't actually have a security license. Meanwhile, you have Ayanna Pressley. She says it's callous and spiteful not to relieve people's student loan debt. Well, as somebody who paid off my own student loan debt, as somebody who paid off my wife's student loan debt, let me just point out that it is callous and spiteful for you to expect me to pay off your student loan debt or anyone else to pay off your student loan debt. Pay your own damned bills.
Burdened by unjust and egregious student loan debt. With the stroke of a pen and clear legal authority, he responded. He canceled student debt. But callous and spiteful Republican officials, disconnected from the hardship of everyday folks who are burdened by this debt, those Republican officials and corporate interests across our nation just couldn't leave well enough alone.
Couldn't leave well enough alone. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, Rashida Tlaib, again, the squad gang. These are the best and brightest they are. She says it's unhinged for the Supreme Court to oppose this. And she actually is the founder and chairman of the Unhinged People's Club. So she should know about Unhinged. Here we go.
We are all standing with you. And just know this, I've seen things come and go, when folks come in office, come and go. But movement people don't go nowhere, right? They can change hands. This unhinged Supreme Court can make all these decisions, but we're not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, then you can just stand there, I suppose. And again, the tears are sweet. They were supposed to be salty, but they are indeed sweet. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll get into the mailbag, but if you're not a member, you won't be able to have your question answered. So become a member, use code Shapiro at checkout, get 2 months free on all annual plans. Click the link in the description and join us.